So I I video journal a lot, and most of the videos that are in my phone, I haven't shared. I've probably shared like maybe 1% of things that I record, if that. There's a lot. And I recently started sharing again online because I was like in the middle of a sabbatical kind of thing, really for the winter. And then it kind of extended into part of the spring now. And I'm back. I'm back. I'm actually thinking about going home to record episode 1 for season 3 right now. I just got done editing some clips, and I can only kind of move when there's inspiration. I can only kind of speak when there's something that kind of wants to just come through. And I haven't shared any of my videos regarding this, but like I've recorded a lot. And I am going through this experience of detachment from a connection with somebody who I really, really enjoyed. And it sucks. Like, it's hard. And yesterday, actually, I recorded and posted a video just talking about how the cost for your new life is your old life. And you do take that time to grieve people who it's just no longer a thing. What do I want to say about this? That's the thing. Like, most of the time I record, I have no intention of sharing it. And now that I press record and I have a possible intention of sharing this, I'm like, I don't even know what to say. Oh my God. So, where do I begin? Where do I begin? Was me on, I think that was episode like 26 or something, 25 or 26 of my podcasts, where I was my first part of the dating series, where I told the story of how we met. And it is my favorite story to tell. Such a great story. And that's, I think therein lies the difficulty of like there just being so much nostalgia of the really great moments that were shared. You know what I mean? And like, it's not a breakup. We weren't together, but we spent a lot of time together. And detaching from him, detaching from what we shared, is the impossible task that I always knew it would be. I think I really just want to talk about how hard it is to walk away from something and someone that you really enjoy, because either it's time, like the connection has kind of come to its completion and it's time. You need to do something different in your life, whatever that is. Like for me, I want a partnership, like a really great love, not right now, but like eventually, like in the next year or 2 or 3. And also, I actually desire to spend a long period of time in my own energy, in solitude and celibacy, even. I do. Like, I know that for me, I haven't really been without a partner since I was 16. And even though after my divorce, I dated just casually, I'm still someone who considers people. And so the way that I show up, even in casual connection, I pour out a lot emotionally, energetically, and like physically, like all of it, you know. And so I know that I need to just be alone and sit with myself to get really clear on what I want and to just be with myself for an extended period of time. Like I actually love, I love being alone. I don't feel lonely at all. And for me, longing for a partnership has nothing to do with feeling lonely or feeling a void. It's about connection. It's about depth and presence with somebody. For example, when that comes along and I align with somebody, I'm still going to need a ton of solitude for myself because that's how I operate. That's how I recharge, you know. I forget what I was going to say. I normally try to record the whole video, like just one take, no editing. And that's why I ramble a lot because I'm just like, I try to keep the flow going until I can remember what the fuck I was saying. I was saying how, for me, being in connection with somebody in a partnership isn't because I feel lonely. I'm not trying to fill a void. I just long for that connection. And I think this is the crux of it. You ready? This is what I wanted to record my next episode about. I wanted it to be a dating episode for the dating series. And I want to have it serve as something that kind of seals off not just the series, but that season in my life. Because honestly, I don't plan on dating ever again. I don't. I definitely will not be on the dating apps for sure. But also, I want to align with somebody. And one of the things that I thought of was like, because it's just so hard to like really know people. Even last year when I was talking to that man who I knew from 10 years ago, and I thought he was this really great man, turned out to be super fucking married and just all this shit. And it's like, can you ever really know somebody? So anyways, going forward, I will only be taking references from people who I've known for a long time to have like integrity and good character, and people who they've known preferably for their entire lives and can vouch for them. That. But here's the truth about casual sex is that because I did my whole dating series and I talked about how fun it was to date polyamorously, the experiences. And I also talked about how I felt like I kind of had to dumb down what I knew sex to be as a sacred energy exchange. That's very true. What I wasn't ready to confront yet within myself, because I still wanted to play, was the truth about casual sex. And that is that there's nothing casual about sex. It's an oxymoron to say those two words together. Biologically speaking, the act of sex is designed to bond two people together, especially if you're connecting skin to skin. and bodily fluids are being exchanged. That's just what it is. And so if you are engaging in a casual way with a partner, and it's like this was the arrangement, you know, and one or both of you eventually catch feelings because this is like a reoccurring regular thing, I would like you to know that that is actually quite normal and healthy of your biology and your body and your heart and all of it. Because that's what is supposed to happen. That's what it's designed for. That's what it's made for. Usher. Oh, I gotta go listen to the album. Classic. But I had started in December, I did a fast, and my theme was presence. And then I continued for the year of 2026 as a year of devotion to myself. I did another fast in January, and then one like March, April time that lined up with the season of Lent. And really the saga kind of continues, but I got really in a state of being present with myself and really embodied and doing a lot of like somatic practices to feel things and really having to honor my body and the sensations going on in my body and to like sit there and feel them and allow them to flow through so as to release, you know, just stuck energy, whatever, old wounds, all these things, right? Right. So, I wasn't seeing him for December and I think even January. And then in February, I saw him again. And I wasn't expecting to be so emotionally attached again, especially not right away. But because I was so much in a state of just existing in my presence in whatever I'm doing, I had so much like, there's just, it's a pure vessel. So meaning like whatever it is, it just comes through 1000% pure. So the feelings of that are just what comes up naturally when two people engage in that way and connect, were coming up. And I was like, because I'm in a year of devotion and honoring to myself, which by the way was supposed to include celibacy. And I was like, maybe it's okay. I was feeling it like without a filter, which is fine. I'm not opposed to that. I love love. I love feeling love. I love expressing love. I may have come off a little bit too strong in retrospect. That's funny. But because I don't like hold back. I just don't. I'm just like, I am who I am. I don't have expectations for this to go anywhere. I know what the arrangement is, but I'm going to love you while I get to hold you. Like, that's just what it is. And here's the thing. I realized that it was actually quite unkind of me to have my body and my heart and like my soul engaging and interacting with somebody in this way where feelings and connection and a bond that is formed, a really intimate bond that is formed, is really normal and natural. And yet I'm telling my body and my heart and my soul to suppress all this, that this is not okay, that you cannot move forward on these feelings and you have to stop this longing for connection here because that's not the arrangement. And it was just like, I cannot continue to dishonor myself by engaging in this way with somebody and then not allowing my body to have the sensations that it was having, not allowing my heart to feel the emotions that it was feeling. Like there's nowhere for that to go in this connection because that's just what it is. And now it's like, it's done, which is hard because detachment just is hard. Like, it just is. Because, you remember the nostalgia. You remember all the amazing moments and memories. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I think anybody who is thinking about engaging with somebody in a casual way should know that, like, you can play, you can have fun. You're both consenting adults. Really do whatever the fuck you want. But also know that there will be a potential for attaching. And if the connection doesn't allow for a love or a relationship to go anywhere, then eventually you will have to detach. And the longer you take to do that, the harder it is to detach. It smells good. Would I do it again? Oh my God. In every lifetime. Without a doubt. Absolutely. Will I do it again in this lifetime? No. Because it sucks having to go through this detachment process. And every time it starts over, you have to start the detachment process over again too. And that is not fun. So I don't know. I don't know how to include that in my book about dating. I'm going to talk through it a little bit more when I record the podcast and probably just sit with it even before I start recording the podcast to get more clarity. And you know what puts it into perspective a lot of times for me is like, if this was one of my daughters, what would I tell her? What would I hope that she does, that she chooses for herself? Because ultimately, whatever experience with a partner that I choose for myself is going to play a big role in the types of partners that they end up choosing for themselves. So I just know that I need to be really intentional when I do decide to partner and align with somebody, because there's very big rippling effects in my life and in my daughter's lives. I think that's one of the hardest things about being a single parent for me, with daughters, but I guess with anybody, of you always have them watching. And sometimes it's conscious, sometimes it's subconscious what they pick up. And so you just don't have room. You don't have time to fuck around in front of them. Which is why I was like, I just want to date casually. I just want good sex once in a while. And I'll be good. And I wasn't ready to integrate my dating life with my family life. I wasn't ready to introduce them to anyone. They are not ready to see their mom with somebody. And I also feel like as a mom, I'm getting there, but I'm still like practicing and learning and like embodying how to really regulate myself as a mom to show up more centered and, you know, not like lose my shit as often. And that's something that I really want to, not perfectly, but really master for myself before I bring anyone else into the equation in any way. Also, this is something that when I first started dating, and I would tell this to most of the people who I was talking to, was that I was terrified to be in a relationship again. Because one, my daughters are kind of hanging in the balance of that. But two, like, I just felt like I couldn't be trusted to pick a good partner because of my track record up to that point. And I was just like, I'm terrified to put them through a shit show, to put them through a shit show of a relationship like what I had experienced in the past in ways that I had shown up. I just knew who I was and I knew how I was, and I knew that I wasn't ready to. I thought the problem was that I wasn't ready to pick somebody like that would be a good man for me and a good example for my daughters and how he treats me. Because that's what historically had happened. And now, again, I still know who I am and I know how I am, but I've also grown. And now I know that it's not about me picking anybody. It's not even about me aligning with anybody. It's about me really choosing my own self-respect over temporary pleasure, over avoiding discomfort. Like this time of detachment that has truly sucked so bad. Like it's been terrible. But at the same time, I feel like it's actually an honor to take a step back and like look at the big picture of what's going on right now. The fact that it's so uncomfortable and I'm sitting in this and this is what it takes to detach from somebody. The fact that this is what it means for me to no longer abandon myself, to no longer allow somebody to disrespect what it means to value me. And people are going to do that left and right, but it's up to me to stand at the gate of the door of my heart and my body and my energy and decide, am I going to allow somebody in who hasn't earned the privilege of me or has proven that they don't have the capacity to see me, to hold me, to value me, or are just simply unwilling. It doesn't really matter what it is. But the point is, I have now gotten to the point to where it's not about any man and being afraid of what he will do or what he won't do. It's about me saying, regardless of what comes up and at what point in the relationship it comes up, I will not allow anybody to be here and not do what it takes to stay here. I don't know how else to say it. Like, I just am unwilling to settle. And at first that started because I don't play about my daughters. I don't. But now it has really grown into, I don't play about myself. Even if I didn't have kids, like, I can't allow that for myself. And I've talked about this before, how I actually need to be the first one to set the standard in my life for how I'm treated, for how I'm loved, by the way that I treat myself and the way that I love myself. I think that's huge. Which is why I need this year of solitude and devotion to myself to really live into that. And it's hard because the good times were really good. Like, they were really good. And there was a lot of love there, and probably always will be, you know? And I think that's the hardest thing, is to walk away from something and someone like that. Not because they're a bad person, but because, you know, you deserve better. And for someone like me who, like, I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, this is crazy that, like, even after everything, I still feel guilty that, like, I'm hurting his feelings by keeping myself inaccessible, because it's time. It's time for me to go home. As I say, it's getting late, dark outside. I need to be with myself in center. Clarity, peace, serenity, yeah. I hope you know that this has nothing to do with you. That's not true. Anyways, it's thoughtless. It's just time. It was fun. And the thing is, like, even with my other exes, like, I can look back on it. Like, I have the episode that I did called Nothing is Wasted. I think it was episode 30 on the podcast. And I talked about how, like, every single challenge in my life, I can look back and extract the wisdom from the lessons of those experiences. And they've made me more resilient. And I stack upon those lessons to, as I become, you know what I mean? And so this is actually a lesson that I know that I had to learn some way, somehow, through relational experience. And so not me still, like, sinking into the nostalgia of it. But honestly, like, this was my favorite lesson to learn. And I wouldn't have wanted to learn this lesson with anybody else, because it was such a magical connection and experience. And not to, like, romanticize just whatever the potential toxicity of casual sex, but I'm just describing what it was like for me. I'm not telling you what to do. Zero regrets. You know what I mean? Because I had to learn. I had to practically and in real life experience what it was like to connect with somebody that deeply and not have anywhere for those feelings and that bond to go, and to have to, in the face of of someone and something that I cherished so deeply, in that have to choose myself and my self-respect. And that being super fucking hard, and the discomfort of that process being the actual thing that it means to no longer abandon myself and to actually prove to myself that I can be trusted, to have my back, to like be loyal to myself before I'm loyal to somebody else, to be loyal to my highest good before I'm loyal to the desire for temporary pleasure. That part too. It's crazy. Ugh. I'm not gonna text them. I'm not. I swear. I'm not, because I'm not starting this shit all over again. But it was great.